no specific topic today. I was going to go to a decommissioned Cold War bomber base that I discovered was about an hour from the house, and it's currently owned by the University of Texas. And I was thinking, shoot, I might actually go over there and fly my drone, but unfortunately, we got 30-mile-an-hour wind, and none of my little drones is going to handle that very well. Hey, Jules, what's going on? Or Jean, sorry. Yeah, it's Jean, not Jules. This is what happens when I don't have my glasses. Like, I can see down the road perfectly. Yeah, over here, not so much. So, but, so folks, it's been an interesting week. I did not have... So I was waiting for Israel and Iran to have a fight. So that was on my bingo cards. The bonus riots was not on my bingo cards. Hey, Canadian, what's going on? Hey, Deuce, what's the good word? So anyway, I wanted to go to the bomber base. It was decommissioned in like 1965, so it was a Cold War base. The Enola Gay, which was the bomber that dropped the atomic bomb in World War II, was actually based there prior to and then after the war, and before it went to the Smithsonian Museum. And I was like, oh, that'd be cool, but the museum is closed today, which sucks. And I've got 40 mile an hour, well, it's 25 mile an hour wind with 40 mile an hour gusts. So even though you can see behind me, it's a beautiful, clear, sunny day, the wind is so bad that I can't fly my drone and not have it come crashing down with a gust of wind. Hey, Teresa, what's going on? So, yeah, so the bomber base may be a later thing. So if you see any videos of me around abandoned buildings, that's probably the bomber base. I finally decided to go. If for some reason I don't come back online this week, that means the Air Force Base was not decommissioned and the guys in the SUVs took me away for a while. So just a buddy check. In case I suddenly go offline and nobody hears from me and I don't show up for the Four Horsemen, it's because I'm having a talk with the guys in the black SUVs. So, not that I did anything wrong, but clearly they did not mark the aviation maps right. Hey Neil, what's going on? Milwaukee or DeWalt. Kind of a Ryobi guy myself, but that's just me. Neil, you've been doing was taken by aliens. So Neil, there's a decommissioned Air Force base. I'll send you an email later. Out here in West Texas, where the B-29s used to train back in the day, and I know you're a history buff too. And yeah, it's supposed to be under the auspices. I don't know if it's Texas A&M or the University of Texas, but one of the universities now has guardianship of the property, and it's considered a historical place. The aviation maps show it as non-restricted airspace, Class G, which means basically I can operate a drone as long as I don't go over someone's house or act like an idiot. But unfortunately, the wind is too high today, so there'll be no... Hey, Nostra, what's going on? So, unfortunately... Hey, Don, good morning. So, the store had good coffee today, which is refreshing. Sometimes their coffee sucks, but today they did good. So, in any case, folks, look, I've seen a lot of videos this week about a lot of people, you know, basically panicking or freaking out. As always, the angry prepper says, you prep, don't be stupid, you know, how Jason is. And I actually find that very refreshing. There's one fellow in particular from north of where I live, probably north of most of us, who keeps going on online saying, I told you we were going to have a war. I told you. Dude, there were so many people making the same statement. Stop it. This individual went so far as to say that the vice president must have read seen my videos. I promise you, there is no vice president who gives a shit about his videos. Not the current one, nor the past one, or the one before that, which was actually the president who became senile. But anyway, yeah, I'm pretty sure none of them give a shit. But you know, he's out there and telling people to click the link and buy his seriously overpriced whatever the hell from his personal store. Anyway, yeah. So, folks, there's not really much we should be panicking about. There's, you know, just be smart. And I've said this before. I not only put it in my book, I've said it openly. When you buy stuff, when you take this little journey and say, okay, I'm going to be prepared for emergencies, think of things like this. You are way more likely to get hit by a car than hit by lightning, right? We all know that. You're probably more likely to get hit by lightning than to crash in an airplane. And you're more likely to crash in an airplane than to get killed by a terrorist. So, and not that I'm saying we should ignore these other things, but what I'm saying is you should have the mentality is what I'm doing, preparing for the real life stuff. And hey, Live, hey, Loretta. For instance, let's say you're driving to work, or your wife or husband is driving to work, and they have a car accident and they wind up in the hospital. That instantly is an SHTF, but it's a personal one. And we need to start thinking more along those lines, like, wow, is the stuff I'm buying practical for things like blackouts, which happen all the time? Hurricanes happens all the time. Tornado, you're kind of screwed because it just blows everything away and they pop out of nowhere. But what if someone gets sick, somebody gets hurt, your spouse is in the hospital for 3 months because of God knows what, and you've lost that income? The goatee, oh, that's funny. The hot chick. Man, I've been called a lot of things. I actually, among the things I've gotten called today, and I know he's making jokes, but I got called a Nazi, and then I got called a Jew by the same person. And I'm neither. So I'm trying to figure out, like, should I be amused, or was it just like somebody randomly firing off insults to see if one of them would stick? You know, like throwing spaghetti at the wall. Like, let's see which one pisses the guy off. And I'm like, I don't understand. You're calling me, like, you've called me all the wrong racial slurs. Like, you missed all of them. He even called me the N-word, and then he called another guy who I know for a fact is a white dude the N-word as well. And I'm like, well, what are we doing, dude? You're just like firing off insults, and then he got banned. So, yeah, he got kicked off the platform, so I guess he overdid it. But, yeah, I didn't understand what the rationale there was. I'm like, and you just fired off random-ass slurs, and he missed all of them. So, yeah, I guess, you know, just make a new account and come back the way they normally do. But anyway, folks, back to my original topic. We really need to, when you go on this little journey of preparedness and you say, hey, I want to be ready for emergencies. A lot of people look at like October 7th in Israel. That was bad, and that was actually kind of horrifying. That made me think a little bit differently because of how they executed it. And what they did, they took the Mumbai model and they expanded it across the whole southern part of that country. And that's not bueno, right? That's bad stuff. But by the same token, you should be preparing for things that happen in real life. You know, the hurricanes. I lost my job. What if you get laid off or you get fired? Say no fault of your own, you know, the factory shuts down, you know, the factory shut down, or the company got merged. With the high interest rates and the waffly economy, a lot of companies have been bought out by bigger companies, and you lose your job, right? So it's gonna take you, even if you're really good at networking, which I am. When I got laid off, I've been laid off once in my career, and that was in 2016 during a crash in the market. In my market, I was networked. I had interviews within a week, but it still took me a month to get a new job. So it was a blessing. I had reserves, you know, I did all the right things, but it still was a pain in the ass. And having food at the house, having all the other amenities at the house meant we didn't have to run out the door all the time. We didn't have to hey, off the wall, good to see you. I didn't have to, hey, Toombs. I didn't have to go running to the store repeatedly. You know, I was able to, and I'm glad that guy yielded because he was driving a pickup truck. You know, I didn't have to go out to the store. But imagine if you legitimately, oh, someone got busted here. I'm gonna flip the camera so we can watch busted people. Oh, busted by the state troopers, no less. You're getting a ticket, my friend. Oh, he's making jokes too. I thought y'all would get a kick out of that. And I don't remember where my turn is. That kind of sucks. But anyway, that's what I get for paying attention to the cops. I don't pay attention to where I'm supposed to be going. In any case, prepare for real life things. Prep for the things that really make sense. Look at the news. Look at your friends and family. The guy who got laid off, maybe your kid gets sick, right? If you get a sick kid, that's, to me, I've had that happen. That's the worst thing in the world, because one parent is always at the hospital, right? And then the other parent's trying to keep the house running, feed the dogs, take care of the other kids. Then you switch, and it's equally a shit show. And we've been there. We've had a kid get sick, and we ran around like chickens with our heads cut off. But because we had food, we had, you know, first aid kits, we had meds, whatever we needed at the house, because we have that preparedness mindset, it could have been worse. I could have been having to run to the store every night. Shit, I gotta go get green beans, I gotta go get pasta or whatever. No, I didn't have to do that because I had stuff at the house. And I had at least one teenager who was like, okay, girlfriend, my daughter is the oldest one. I'm like, start the pot of boiling water, pull this, and that from the pantry, and I'll come home and maybe I'll grab one item so it's a quick trip. That's the way you should think about preparedness. All right. Now, yeah, October 7th, things happen. Terrorism happens, you know, zombie apocalypse. The way this year, last 3 years have been, maybe we're going to have freaking zombies too. But when you prepare pragmatically and stay on some kind of budget. So if you buy the canned goods, instead of getting 3 cans, get the case of 6, you probably save 50 cents a can, $1 more, but you save per can, and then put half those in the pantry and half for dinner. And if you think in those terms, you stay on budget and you don't stress yourself out. I mean, I'm literally seeing people in certain chats with some of the fear-mongering channels, and I'm seeing people who are saying, oh my God, I don't think I want to live anymore. My life sucks and everything is bad. And that's, you know, YouTubers, politicians, movie stars, anyone who has any kind of audience. We kind of have a, oh, hey, Moonlit Farms, thank you. 2 bucket bags, 1 at the house and 1 in my car in case of anything. Yeah. And you don't have to break the budget. That's a great example. My son left his bug out bag when he went to the Army, because they give him all sorts of other shit, in his old Mustang. And I was going to refurb the Mustang, but it smelled like foot and FFA barn. And I'm like, oh my God. And he dinged it because he was a dumbass. So I decided to be rid of the Mustang, but I kept the backpack. I cleaned it out and I just repurposed it. You could take a damn school bag, go to Ross's Dress for Less, or what's that other place? Home Goods? TJ Maxx? Can't remember. TJ Maxx and Home Goods are kind of the same thing, aren't they now? Anyway, go find a $20 backpack and put some basic stuff in there. That's absolutely legitimate. You know, now you want to get bougie, you want to go to 511, get the $100 bag that you can survive in 3 days. Hey, great. More power to you, but you don't have to do that. Be pragmatic in what you do. And remember, to me, preparedness isn't just about, oh, emergencies. To me, it's about saving money, right? I buy bulk rice and I put half, say a 25-pound bag, I put half in the mason jar, the big one that sits on the counter. The other half I put in Mylar bags because I can't eat all that rice at once, right? So now I not only have bought rice for the countertop for the next 2 months, 3 months or more, but I took the other half and put it in storage in the event something happens. And I mean, I've had friends get laid off. And groceries at home? No, I don't groceries, man. It caught me off guard. Well, let me bring you a pack of rice. It should be about 3 days worth for you and the kids. And I was able to help a friend out. When you think of preparedness, think of the real world things. You have a car accident, you get laid off, you know, God forbid a kid gets sick, like I said a few minutes ago. Your spouse loses their job, right? And my wife just started a new gig, and we're super excited. It's right up her knowledge base, and the pay offer was really great, and it's an 8 to 5. She's not killing herself. She's done in the afternoon, no night calls like me. But that's okay. I like my job. I find my job fun, even when they wake me up at 2 in the morning. But yeah, prepare pragmatically. Remember, if you prepare smart, you're also saving money. Like couponing goes hand in hand with preparedness. If you can do a couponing thing, like a book, like we used to do years ago, and you do the couponing book and you can get 10 toothpaste for $3, well, there you go. You put one on each bathroom counter, and then the rest go in emergency storage. If you need them, you have them. If it's, you know, midnight and you're like, shit, I ran out of toothpaste, guess what? You don't have to go to HEB or Walmart at 2 a.m. I don't know why you'd be brushing your teeth at 2 a.m. That probably means you were drunk, and I'm lucky if I know how to brush my teeth at that point. But, you know, you take your time, and don't stress yourself over it. If you're saving money while you're prepping, you're doing it right. If you're doing it reusing what you already have, you're doing it right. That's like the next level of preparedness. You know, I go to clay shoots and charity events because my company sponsors a lot of community stuff. We were doing a Big Brothers Big Sister thing, and all the volunteers walked away with a duffel bag, and in the duffel bag it had a pocket knife, it had a little flash, I had all these little goodies, but the duffel bag was big enough for a carry-on. I'm like, perfect. Next time I have a quick flight, I don't have to pack a damn suitcase and pay $50 for the extra suitcase on the airline. I can take everything in the stupid little bag, and then my computer bag, I'm golden for 24, 48 hours. That's the way we need to think. Inflation is, it's kind of waffling, it's kind of leveled off, great. Interest rates, not so great. We can't do anything about that. You and I, all of us in the chat, we can't do anything about that. But you can be pragmatic. You buy the bulk price, put half on the counter or in the pantry, the other half in Mylar, and store it. Or if you can, you buy the big chicken. Half of it you cook for dinner, the other half you put in the mason jars and you pressure can it. And now you have chicken in the pantry and you have chicken for dinner. And you save some money because you bought bulk. That's the way we all need to be thinking, to save some money and do okay in this environment. So, and when I wrote that little book, Defensive Preparedness, if you read it, the whole definition is to know how to be prepared when you're in a hard economic environment. Even if the economy is good and you lose your job, guess what? You now have a hard economic environment. I may not, because I have my job, but you lost yours, you have a problem. But if you have food, you have the amenities at home, you have the laundry soap, or you make your own. My wife's making her own laundry soap, and it smells nice, and it does the job. And I probably need to do a video on that, because I tried to do it and I fucked it up and I got run out of the kitchen. But it was bad. I exploded, the soap went everywhere, it was awful, and then I got run off. And normally the kitchen's my jam, right? You guys have seen my cooking videos, but yeah, that day was not my jam. That was an incident. Those are the kind of things you want to be looking for. Try to save your money. So if you're a prepper and you're also couponing, you're repurposing stuff that you already have, you're trading with your neighbors, you're hitting the farmer's market, and you're saving money, that's the way you do it. Because in reality, like I said at the very beginning of this video, I'm more likely to have an injury at work that makes me lose money, and now I have a personal SHTF, than I am of Al-Qaeda coming and killing me in West Texas. Right? Could it happen? Sure, Al-Qaeda could come in here and fight with people. Great. But more than likely, other things will happen to me way before then. And that's how you have to think. And also think, if something happens to me, I know my wife has some cash, has good running vehicles, has food, groceries, whatever she needs. Even if my son or my daughter come to stay with her to help while I'm in the hospital, guess what? I have enough amenities for both of them. That's what prepping should be for. And yes, when you do that, it also covers the zombie apocalypse and the chupacabra and whatever the hell else happens. There was some shit I did not have on my apocalypse bingo card the last 4 years. But the basics are the basics. And a lot of the basics are our day-to-day needs. So think like that. If you can coupon and prep at the same time, bam, you've hit a next level of preparedness. And you save some money that can be used for something else important. So in any case, folks, I'm going to leave you with those thoughts. I am headed to the range in my funky Hawaiian shirt. So my granddaughter picked this out because she likes sharks. And she's like, the shark shirt. And so my wife's like, you're having a shark shirt now. So this is my shooting range shirt. It's also my go visit my granddaughter shirt. I just have to wash it so I don't contaminate my granddaughter with whatever the hell hits me in the range. I actually like this shirt. I should get one with little corgis and like prepper symbols and shit with the neon just to make it obnoxious. Anyway, folks, look, you guys be good, be safe, be pragmatic, right? When you're thinking of preparedness, yeah, zombies, yeah, I get it. Al-Qaeda, yeah, I get it. Or whatever monster scares you. But you know what? Car accident, that's an SHTF, right? Losing your job, that's an SHTF. Think like that. Think, how do I save money and accomplish my goals? And that's going to put you on a much better path than some of the other things that you're hearing out on the internet. So anyway, folks, you guys be good, be safe. Mods, thank you. And my urban camo. This is my drunk people camo, but I'm going to the range, so I can't drink right now. I'll drink later. But anyway, you guys be good, be safe out there, be careful. And I will see you all on the next video. And again, think pragmatically, save money, be calm, stay on budget. All right? You guys be good.